Welcome to Behind the Badge with your special guest, Lieutenant Williams, your news source for all things police in the city of Fond du Lac.
Again, to Fond du Lac today, News Talk 1450, 100.7 KFIZ. It's now time for Behind the Badge on our Friday morning. We got Officer Clapper in. No Lieutenant Williams, but you brought someone else with you, Mr. Clapper. Who's here?
I did. I brought Officer Kyle Hoefer, who's one of our canine handlers. We have some exciting news about our canine program within the department. So I figured I'd bring an expert in himself.
Perfect. Sounds cool. I know probably a little over a month ago, Lieutenant Williams and myself, we hit on the canine unit a little bit, but you have exciting news about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just recently, we got 2 more canine positions, correct?
Yeah.
Officer Hoefer?
One new created one, and then one has been assigned his new dog.
Yep. So Officer Matt Burr is a second shift patrol officer. He actually just received his dog and is starting training with his dog soon. His dog's name is Canine Gombo.
Gombo?
Gombo.
That's a name right there.
Yep, that's his name.
Huh.
Unique name.
Very unique, yeah, 100%. What's the name of the other dogs? I know we've talked about them, and I know they're for sale.
I'll let you talk about it.
I brought not people on the radio can't see it, but I brought Canine Brooks with me, just the stuffed version, because right now I'm on light duty, so I can't bring the real one. And then we have Canine Lex, and they're all dual-purpose dogs, so they do patrol work and narcotics work as well.
Okay, so you talked about the patrol work itself. What is a day like work for patrol work?
For patrol work, we could do anything from sniffing vehicles for narcotics, or helping out patrol and searching a building where there's an alarm going off, or maybe there was a break-in, or tracking someone who might be missing from a home or might have fled from another agency. We go all over the place. So.
And then the narcotics part of it would be just a day where you're set to look at a building, right? Or maybe is it just like checking a school for narcotics, or what's kind of the deal with that?
We do a little bit of that. We don't do a ton. We do school sniffs and things like that when we're reached out and asked to come. But most of it's on patrol. There's days where I might get called out to assist State Patrol on 41, or go out in the county and assist the county with a stop that they have where they need canine expertise. And then I'm just there for the dog. The dog's the one doing all the work.
And the dog works hard, but he also lives with you, correct?
Yeah. Yep.
And then, so what's kind of the day-life balance with, having your canine dog always with you?
It's awesome. Makes me get up earlier than I'd like to some days, because you got to get up and first thing I do is feed him and let him out and make sure he gets a little running in before I go and start my day. Right now, being on day shift hours, it's a little tough because he wants to be at work, and he heard the squad start up the other day and started whining like crazy. But literally with him more than my family, so it's nice to have.
So whenever you're kind of like, you're still working, but you're not out patrolling and stuff, is the dog the same way, or does he still go out with somebody?
Nope, he's just assigned to me, so I'm the only one that can work him. Unfortunately, right now he's just getting some rest, basically, because we've got certification coming up, so he'll get a good long week of tired work pretty soon. But he's just resting.
And then how old is your dog currently?
Mine is 7.5.
And
he's the older one.
I know Lieutenant Williams was saying that's normally about the time where they got a lot of wear and tear on them, and then you might be looking for a newer dog, correct?
Yeah, I'm hoping to get another couple years,
okay.
Maybe 3 out of him, just because he's been really good as far as he's not slowing down at all. He's never had any injuries or anything like that. So, but yeah, he's definitely he's got his eye on retirement. So.
But you're still a long ways away from that. Have you had the dog the entire time, or for the 7.5 years, or what's the process like for that?
So I got him back in 2016 in April. He was about 1.5 years at that point, and he's been with me ever since then. It's been a long road, but now he's pretty much on autopilot. I just got to run him and work him the right way. So
awesome. That sounds tremendous. I know Officer Clapper has some other stuff you wanted to hit on today.
Yeah. So another exciting thing that's coming to our department was just finalized. Right now the position is posted, accepting applicants within the department for it. I know the county sheriff's office is getting the same thing. Some of you may have seen it on their social media page as well. But there's a new position that we have. It's a mental health and wellness specialist. So it's a police officer that actually has a social worker from the Fond du Lac County Department of Community Programs. So like the crisis, the healthcare center,
Okay.
stuff like that. They'll have a social worker with them, and they're paired together, and they will respond to people that are in crisis, to evaluate them on scene, and then also help with follow-ups in regards to people that may be suicidal or going through some sort of mental health crisis, with maybe that they didn't get put on a Chapter 51 emergency detention, which essentially they would have to stay at the healthcare center for 3 days.
Okay.
They would go out and help follow up and create safety plans for these people that, maybe they didn't meet the criteria to be placed on a hold, but there's still is some stuff going on. They would be able to help assist with that. So it's a new position. We've never had this before. There's different communities that do have that. I know Green Bay and Appleton both have this position. So it's a little new to us. I'm not sure exactly what the duties are going to be yet, but whoever gets that position is going to have to kind of start from the foundation and help build it up.
And that's probably, some people would be extremely interested in that, right? They kind of get to mold the position to how maybe they've done it elsewhere or how they envision it should be worked.
Right, absolutely. That's the thing about a new position is there's really no standards, so it's going to be the person learning as they go and helping create this position, which is going to be good for the right person that gets into this position, because you need somebody that's going to be active and try to build it up to the best as it can be. So when the term limit is done, I believe it's a 5-year position.
Wow.
So once it's open again and someone else gets an opportunity to do it, then there'll be, sort of a role that they can look back on and say, okay, well, this person did X, Y, Z, so it'll be good for whoever gets into that position to help build up the role.
Now, is this designed for someone with a police background, or is this kind of an outside thinking position?
Yep. So this is the posting within our department is for a police officer in particular. But like I said, they will have a social worker with them from the Department of Community Programs. So this is within our department right now. There is a hiring process where you have to submit an application and go through interviews to get this position. So it's a process, and hopefully we get this squared away soon and get them out on the streets to help people that are in crises and mental health. Overall is a huge problem in our city, between our calls for service and violence as well. So it'll be good for them to get out there and help provide people resources that they need.
And this is available to someone who's already inside the department or someone in a neighboring community if they want to come to Fond du Lac.
So this would be if there's only Fond du Lac police officers, but like we talked about once before, we're starting to accept lateral transfers. So if somebody were to come, I don't think they would be eligible by the time this process closes.
This has to be like really fast, boom, boom, right?
Right. So maybe if they were interested in this position and they worked at a smaller agency, if they apply with us and work for us for a little while and this position becomes vacant, then absolutely. So
awesome. Sounds like moving forward, we always talk about how you guys are growing larger and larger, and it's just another one of those steps where the Fond du Lac Police Department's doing great things.
Absolutely. And there's going to be, sounds like, some other positions as well. I'm not really at liberty to talk about them because they're not even finalized the way it is. But
I can turn off the microphones right now and we can have those discussions, though.
Hopefully at some point, I think we're going to be kind of a stepping stone. So we'll start with this position. This was the number one. This one's public knowledge. So, and then from there, we're going to have some other opportunities as well. So it'll be good for our department and the future officers of our department that are driven to find something new and maybe be interested in something that like this, that people that are passionate about something that they can get into that.
You're listening to Behind the Badge on News Talk 1450 and 100.7 KFIZ.